Good afternoon, everyone, and ma'am present here. I, Ayushi of Amity University, is being the MC of the event. We are gathered here for the workshop named Skill Up to Become Reading Kryptonites, a reading workshop. The act of reading is a complex and multi-dimensional process. It is a heart-to-heart interaction of the reader with the text to understand what he has read. In the process, the readers construct meaning from different texts based on their background, knowledge, experiences, connections to text, establish skills, strategies, and ability to comprehend and decode the vocabulary of apt meaning. So, this workshop will focus on the importance and benefits of reading, inculcating the habit of reading in everyday life to derive fun in reading. It is also discuss the upgrading reading skills of mini lessons and exciting activities which will foster a great love of reading. The act of reading is a complex and multi-dimensional process. I would like to welcome Dr. Ruby Bakshi ma'am, who is a professor, TEDx speaker, author, and a public speaking skill trainer. Dr. Ruby Bakshi is a highly acclaimed, powerful speaker on emotional intelligence and a women empowerment in a global market. She is the only verified Kahoot educator in the Switzerland and popularly known as Kahoot professor by her students. Global Goodwill Ambassador and founder of Indo-Swiss Culture Network. Her teaching style focuses on gamification and perpetual learning. Recipient of many national and international awards of the conducting successful workshops across the world in London, Amsterdam, India, Nepal, China, Paris, Portugal, and in Switzerland. In Switzerland, she has conducted a highly successful training sessions in United States, Geneva, Good Festival, Nestle, and Science Congress in Zurich. Welcome, ma'am. So good afternoon to the speaker and all the participants present here. We are gathered here for the workshop named Brightening, Shilly, Shallying, Conversation, Analysis, and Polishing Speaking Skills. Learning conversational skills always sound like a cakewalk activity. Then do you need to prepare for a conversation? All you need to do is talk, right? True, but it is not easy as it may sound to become a great conversationalist. You must do a lot of planning, preparation, and practice. We all have faced a situation where we had a lot of things to say, but we could not express exactly what we wanted to say. Properly speaking, the right thing is a skill to be acquired with a lot of practice in your day-to-day life. So here we have exciting workshop which will enlighten you with the compiled list of fun-filled activities that will help you to enhance your speaking ability. Speaking involves a lot of factors like waiting for your turn to speak frequently and use the correct expressions, understanding language functions, and applying the skills in debate. Telephone calls and all kinds of oral interactions. So here we go and get the taste of that skill. I would like to introduce Dr. Ruby Bakshi ma'am, who is a professor, TEDx speaker, author, and public speaking skills trainer. Dr. Ruby Bakshi is a highly acclaimed, powerful speaker on emotional intelligence and women empowerment in the global market. She is the only verified educator in Switzerland and popularly known as the Kahoot professor by her students. Global Goodwill Ambassador and founder of Indo-Swiss Cultural Network. Her teaching style focuses on a gamification and perpetual learning. Recipient of many national and international awards for conducting successful workshops across the world in London, Amsterdam, India, Nepal, China, Paris, Portugal. In Switzerland, she has conducted highly successful training sessions in United States, Geneva, Good Festival, and Nestle VV and Science Congress in Zurich. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Ayushi, for the very wonderful introduction. I was like, okay, let the music be on. I was enjoying it. So, very good afternoon, warm good morning, good evening to wherever part or whichever part of the world you are in. I'm really happy to be part of this summit. And of course, when we talk about communication, that's the first thing which connects people. We may or may not be able to know the name, we may or may not be able to know the language, but when we communicate, it doesn't just have to be with a language. It can be with sign language, it can be with hand gestures, anything and everything with which you want to get across to the people and carve a niche for yourself. So, today I'm going to be sharing some of the secrets which definitely will help you to become a powerful speaker. Having said that, it's not easy sometimes to communicate, especially when you are in front of an live audience, because there is no retake. You are there and the show goes on. So it's very important how you connect, what you do, and of course, what you shouldn't do. That should be loud and clear in your mind. The do's we all know, but sometimes when we are doing something, when we are up there, we just mess it up. Because in the mind, we know, हमें ये बोलना है, 1, 2, 3. But when we actually start saying that, we are not very clear whether we should go with 1, 2, 3, or seeing the audience, we can go by 3, 2, 1 or 2, 3, 1. How to change and where to change, that is very, very important. And as a TEDx speaker, when I first gave my talk, I was very, very nervous. And everyone said, Array, for you, it's a piece of cake, easy peasy. You will be able to do it. You have spoken at so many platforms. This is just another platform. But believe me, guys, even after spoken all over the world, when I was on the TED platform, I was shaking. I swear, I was actually shaking with my palms sweaty, not knowing how to say, what to say. Even though when I was rehearsing in my mind, I was kind of stressed. What should I say and what I should not say? So, to cut the story short, when I was actually up on the platform, I started speaking. In my mind, I said, nothing doing, just go with the flow. And that's what happens when we go up on the stage. You should just think about what I'm doing at that moment. Be mindful of what you are doing. Don't think Instagram में ये message आया है, WhatsApp में ये message आया है. Keep everything away. When you are up there, concentrate on what you are supposed to do at that point of time, because that's very, very important. Because what happens with us is we want to be everywhere. We want to be on this media, that media, connected with family, connected. It's great, it's good. But at the same time, you should also know what you're doing at that moment. Live it at that point of time. Because once we don't do that, then गाड़ी छूट जाती है and then we're like, oh my God, I should have done like that. जो कि नहीं हो पाता है. So for that, you have to be very, very careful. And I'm taking the liberty of saying some words in Hindi because I love speaking Hindi. And staying in Switzerland, I seldom get a chance to do that. So I hope it's okay with all of you. Another thing which is very important is when you speak, you have to have that, like a feeling of that you're enjoying what you are speaking. That's also very, very important. So I'm going to be discussing with you the 7 C's of communication, which is something fun. And with that, I'm going to add on my own emotional quotient factors as well. Okay. Being a trainer on emotion intelligence, I keep on adding my vocabulary, my acronyms to make it more fun and more interesting, which as a professor, I think everyone likes doing it. I'm sure all the professors sitting in the room or all the people watching us, they will resonate with me when they hear some of the things, because I'm sure each one of us is practicing those things somewhere or the other. So starting with not delaying much with the 7 C's of communication, it's very important when we communicate what are the things which are most important and what are the things that one should definitely have a clear-cut idea before going ahead. So when we say 7 C's of communication, it is very important to understand that the C's are something that you can make up your own. These are the ones which I'm going to elaborate. But then while listening the conversation, I would highly appreciate if you guys could use the chat window and write what comes to your mind. We should make it more interactive. Communication तभी होती है जब दोनों पार्टी बात करते हैं. Even though we are virtual, don't worry, you can make it sound more interesting, using the social media platform. Those of you who are watching on other platforms, maybe the moderator Ayushi could just share with me what others are asking, and then it could be more fun. So moving on, it's very important when we understand the 7 C's of communication in terms of public speaking. I'm going to be emphasizing a little bit more on public speaking, or you can relate it with the presentations which you make when you are doing your class presentations, or for the people who are in organizations, they could be talking about when they are having their presentations or they're presenting something on a go live or something, what they should do and what they shouldn't do. So public speaking is not just for the public speakers, it's for you as students as well. कि आपको क्या दिमाग में रखना है when you're standing in front of a group of people, right? When you're standing in front of a group of people, it's very, very normal. The biggest challenge is the fright, the scare, कि कैसे होगा, kab hoga, those kind of things. So for that, it is important. The very first thing which you should definitely understand and make sure that it goes with the flow is the 7 C's of public speaking. And when we say 7 C's of public speaking, these could be bookish. I agree. This could be something very bookish. Maybe some of you have already read it. Some of you are already aware of it. But उसे कैसे करना है, उसे कैसे implement करना है at that point of time, that is very, very important. And that's what I'm going to highlight a bit more in this presentation. So when we talk about the 7 C's, it is important for all of you to understand that when you are talking, it is not the content that is being impressed or that's being paid attention upon. It is the body language, which is 55%. Imagine. आप कितना एफर्ट लगाते हो अपने कंटेंट को प्रिपेयर करने में, आप कितना एफर्ट लगाते हो टू मेक इट परफेक्ट, दैट ऐसा आना चाहिए, वैसा आना चाहिए. बट बिलीव मी, पीपल डोंट रिमेंबर हाउ यू सेड दैट. People don't remember आपने क्या बोला. Once the communication or once the presentation is over, people might forget exact things that were said in the communication, that were said in the presentation. But of course, they'll remember something which you did in a funny way, which you did to make them remember later on. And that's 55%. How I'm talking, how I'm smiling, how I'm making jokes, or if I make you do something, you will remember that, because that's something that is definitely going to be interesting for all of you. How many of you are aware of Kahoot? I'm sure you must be doing it. So if time permits, if it is possible, I would definitely love all of you to play a Kahoot. If it is really, really convenient, whoever is there, you can join in. I'll be sharing the code and you can join in, and then you can understand that how much it is when we talk about communication as a complete synopsis. So moving on, as I said, it's 55%, and the words that we speak are just mere 7%. Imagine. आप कितना एफर्ट लगाते हो to have the perfect talk, to have the perfect diction and everything, which of course is important because you need to play with your voice. Voice modulation, playing with the tones, playing with the pauses, playing with how you should raise a voice suddenly so that everyone pays attention, and how you should calm down. जब आप कोई चीज इंपॉर्टेंट बोल रहे हो, कैसे आपको एकदम should come down to a very, very minute level so that people pay attention. And that is 38%. So if you see, major percentage is on your face, your body language, your eye contact, how you say and what you say in a very impactful manner. So you need to definitely remember this. It's very, very important how you start speaking in terms of having complete control over what you say and how you say, which is the very first C. So when you start speaking, yes guys, when you start speaking, you should be completely in control of your physical as well as mental nerves. That's one thing which is very, very important. When I say physical and mental, physical is when you're standing there, जब आप खड़े हो तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए, what you should do and what you should not do. You should be in complete control of your way of speaking and interacting with the audience. And when I say mental nerves, it's like दिमाग में बहुत सारे तार चल रहे होंगे, बहुत सारे टेंशन्स हो रहे होंगे, बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही होंगी, which is at the back of mind. But you have to have a complete control of this is what I need to do and this is how I need to do in a very, very impactful manner. So have complete control over your nerves, have a complete control over your information. And of course, it's very, very important once you say complete, it is complete both mental and physical. So physical control होगा, जैसे अगर आपके हाथ बहुत shake कर रहे हैं. So maybe if there's a podium, you can ask for a podium so that you can place your hands there and not show your shaking hands. Or for guys, maybe in the beginning, you can put your hands in the pockets and show that it's like a cool pose and then go with the flow. So for girls, it's very, very normal that you start fidgeting with your hair or doing like this or doing like that. Just avoid it, because क्या होता है जब आप बोलने लगते हो आप भूल जाते हो कि आपको कैसे बोलना है या क्या वो वर्ड नहीं आ रहा है. So the very first mantra is, which I say that's Ruby's mantra, which I share with all my students at all times, at all platforms, is I know everything, audience knows nothing. So if you repeat this with yourself couple of times, I know everything, audience knows nothing. Believe me guys, you will feel so comfortable क्योंकि आप empowered feel करोगे. आपको लगेगा मुझे पता है, audience को नहीं पता है. So even if you mess it up, even if you forget something, it's okay. Just move on. As we say, the show must go on. आप ये मत दिखाओ कि आप भूल गए. Don't show like well, it is, and then you are stuck on it is. No. If you don't remember, fine, move on to the next slide if you have slides. Or if you don't remember, you feel that it's a complete blank, it's okay. Think about something funny and then start speaking on it. Because if you show the audience you are stuck with a specific word, you start stuttering or you start stammering, that will show that you are not confident. But if you repeat this to yourself, I know everything, audience knows nothing, believe me, you will just go on with the flow and किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा because you're doing it so confidently. So the other C is also part of being in complete control कि आप कैसे उस information को beautifully share करते हो, कैसे उस information को completely having control of everything you're sharing and going with the flow. Which makes it to the second C, which is concrete. Whatever you say it with conviction. The material used, if you're using PowerPoint, if you're using slides, if you're using placards, or if you're just talking, if you're just giving a lecture, make sure that it is concrete. If it is having some valid, I would say, resources, qualitative or quantitative, say it with conviction. 75% people feel blah, blah, blah. 30% of the people in this room are feeling excited. So when we say these kind of things, automatically it starts putting up more charm because you're giving facts, you're giving some figures to what you are seeing, then that makes your communication more solid. People start relating to it. And that's the reason sometimes when we follow some influencers, we follow on the basis of what they are saying because they have facts and it is verified. So it's very important when you have facts, when you have figures, that makes your data more concrete and you pay attention in a much, much stronger manner. At the same time, we have to be very mindful of paying attention on the third C, which is courtesy. When you're standing up there, be very, very polite. Show the audience that you take care of what they are saying, you value them. It's very important when you're standing up there to maintain that comfortable flow between you and the audience. Make them feel valued, make them feel happy that I value you. And if you give them respect, it's normal, they will respect you. It's very, very normal. Give and get in return. But if you are all the time thinking about me, I, myself, believe me, it's not gonna work. Everyone is studying, everyone is doing a lot of value addition. So people are aware. And especially generation now is studying so much. Internet is really a good boon if you take it in a positive way. It really teaches you a lot of things. So be courteous, try to be empathetic, and at the same time learn to say thanks to every person who has been there in your journey. So when you're standing up there, make sure that you start with salutations of the people who are there. A very warm welcome. Thank you so much, Amity International. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinaya. Thank you so much, Dhun. Take names of the people because that makes them feel happy. That makes them feel, yes, I have been given this consideration and you enjoy it. Be it anyone, big or small, it doesn't have to be like, you are only valuing people who are up in hierarchy or they are up in status. No, you need to value and be courteous to every single person, because जितना आप करोगे उतना आपको वापस भी लोग करेंगे. I really believe in that give and get things in return, because if you are a person who, but not without, again, let me correct it, not having that expectation कि आज मैं कर रही हूं तो मुझे कल ऐसा करना है. Of course, everyone has that expectation. We are human beings. We can't get rid of it. But when you communicate, talk in such a manner that it is a long lasting relationship. Like, you will definitely enjoy and definitely benefit in the long run. So you have to be courteous and be very very down to earth. Jitna aap down to earth hoge, jitna aap courteous hoge, people are going to remember you for your simplicity, what you said, how you said, and of course with a smile on your face. You keep going, and that's how people are going to remember and focus. Having said that, sometimes what happens is when you are in the flow, sometimes आप गलत का सही, सही का गलत, करते रहते हो, thinking, अरे, it's just a small thing, no one will know. But be mindful. Today's audience, today's people are very well connected with technology. So if you don't know anything about a specific topic that has been asked or specific topic that has been told, be humble. Accept, I don't know this. Because whatever information you are giving, it is something that people are going to relate to it. So अगर आपको कोई चीज पता नहीं है, do not feel scared, do not feel, oh, I am the boss, how can I be wrong, or I am the teacher, मैं कैसे wrong हो सकती हूँ. आप भी wrong हो सकते हो. You're a teacher, agreed. You're a boss, agreed. But you can also be wrong. It's normal. You're a human being. You have the right to make mistakes. So please make sure whatever information you are sharing, it is correct, with valid proofs, with concrete data, and backed up with whatever information you have, either accredited by somebody or quoting somebody that this is how it is and this is what it is. So make sure you don't mess it up, and do not, in order to prove your point, do not make it valid, and keep going with the flow. Of course, when we are speaking, it's normal. When we are with an international audience, we mess it up at times because we are not clear with what we are speaking or how we are speaking. So make sure that whatever you speak, however you speak, you have to be very, very clear about the things that are going on in the minds of people. So be clear to what you're talking. And of course, if it's not your first language, if English is not your first language and the medium of instruction is English, talk slowly. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप जो बोले, चाहे आप इतना सा बोले, बट ऐसे बोले कि उसका इम्पैक्ट लॉन्ग रन में हो. ओके, सो डोंट टॉक लाइक दैट कि जल्दी से खत्म हो जाए. Lot of people do that, I'm sure. I can see people smiling here. Lot of people do that कि जल्दी से बोल दो, किसी को समझ में भी नहीं आएगा और मेरी बात भी हो जाएगी. वो मत करिए आप चाहे इतना सा बोलिए, बट ऐसे बोलिए कि लोग उसको रिमेंबर करें. People connect with it, people resonate with it, and people remember it. Okay, so no need to do tongue twisters or go ahead quickly. थोड़ा बोलो, बट मीठा बोलो और करेक्ट बोलो, बिकॉज वो आपको बहुत दूर तक ले जाएगा. मगर अगर आप मेसअप करोगे या जस्ट स्पीक फॉर द हेक ऑफ स्पीकिंग, ऑफ कोर्स पीपल आर गोइंग टू रिमेंबर दैट ऑल्सो, बट इन अ नेगेटिव वे. So please make sure that it is very important how you speak, what you speak, and how much you are making sense. Because what happens is at sometimes, people just speak for the heck of speaking. and that's where they mess it up. So make sure when they are speaking, or make sure when you are speaking, you are aware of what needs to be said and at what time. That's very, very important. So for the moment, we have covered few of the C's which we just said, and some of you can just write in the chat window, so that I know what exactly you remember from the C's that we covered so far. And moving on, it is very, very important for everyone to understand when we say the seven C's, it is very important after talking complete, concrete, correct, as well as being courteous, and of course, being clear of what we said and not doing tongue twisters. It is very, very important that you have to be considerate. You definitely need to be considerate with the audience, because the audience will always remember how you treated them. So the next C, which is very, very important, is consideration. You definitely need to give consideration to your audience. You need to give consideration to the people with whom you're talking, and of course make sure that you empathize with them. Like, it's already 2 hours, it's already 3 hours, so make sure that you give a break. You give them, like, now you can stretch up a bit, you can have water, like, be considerate. Don't expect that they can do Herculean tasks just because you are the teacher and they are students, or you are the boss and they are employees. You have to have some sense of consideration to connect with the people, because jitna aap connect karoge, utna they are going to be happy and they will be with you throughout. So being a speaker or being a public trainer, it is very important that you need to step in the shoes of the people to understand how they are feeling. Because when you step in their shoes, they will feel comfortable, they will feel that yes, we need to do this in a nice manner, and they are going to be there with you throughout. And the last C is concise. It's very true. When people get a platform, they keep speaking. They feel, okay, अब तो मुझे platform मिल गया है, let the show keep on going. But guys, और भी लोग हैं. There are other peoples. So it's important, जैसे कहते हैं ना, हम भी कतार में हैं बात करने के. So please leave the line and give a platform to other people. So it's important, whatever you say, be short. Okay, there's a principle that's called KISS. I'm just using the chat window to write that so that others can see. So it is called KISS. I don't know if anyone has heard that principle. KISS principle. Anyone? If you want, you can write in the chat window KISS principle. KISS stands for keep it simple. Okay, keep it simple and specific, because the more you keep it simple, automatically people will connect. But if I'm using very difficult words right now, of course people will get mixed up. They'll say kya bol rahe the, kya tha. I don't want people to go back to their dictionaries all the time. So soon, as I said, I would really appreciate if you are for a game of Kahoot, because whatever we said, I would also want that let's make it more fun and memorable and bring it live. When you are on a live platform, I love doing live shows. I've done a lot of live workshops, live presentations. So whoever is here in the room, they can play live with me. And those of you who are watching live on YouTube or other social media platforms, you can connect, because I'll be sharing the Kahoot link. So anyone and everywhere, whichever part of the world you are watching, you can connect and make it fun. I'm just giving you a little bit more time so that you can gradually think that we are going to play the quiz in order to understand what we did and make it more fun and interesting. So moving on, as I said, I'm just giving you time and I'm preparing you that we are going to play a Kahoot quiz soon. So more and more people, if they join the Zoom session itself, that would be great. Or those who are watching us, they can play whichever media they are in, because I will get an idea who all join. So it's always going to be fun. It's very important when you are playing something or when you are understanding something, what are the basics? What are the things that go well for everyone? And that's what makes it special, because when you are playing or when you are in the process of understanding things, we come to the complete circle of the 7 C's, complete 7 C's. That is, in order to be an effective communicator, in order to be an effective trainer, or in order to be an effective presenter, आप कोई भी role ले लो, there are a lot of roles that you can think about that will resonate with you, because the audience is wide here. We have so many people watching, so different people can think in different ways how you can communicate effectively, especially when you're talking in front of a larger audience. So remember, summing it up, there are 7 C's that makes any public speaking concrete. That is completeness, courtesy, correct. The communication that you speak should be correct in every way, with valid data, with valid reasoning. It should be clear, understandable by all people, especially if it's not your first language. Make sure that you speak in such a way that it is clear and loud. जहां ज्यादा जोर से बोलना है, थोड़ा तेज raise your voice. जहां you need to mellow down, bring it down. It should be like a music. Like we all love listening to music. हर एक का म्यूजिक अलग होता है, किसी को बूम बूम अच्छा लगता है, किसी को शांत अच्छा लगता है, बट वी ऑल लाइक टू लिसन टू सम काइंड ऑफ म्यूजिक. सो दैट्स द सेम वे. आप ऐसे बोलो कि लोगों को मजा आए सुनने में. दे डोंट फील लाइक ओ माय गॉड दैट वाज सो बोरिंग, वो नहीं लगना चाहिए. एंड एट द सेम टाइम यू नीड टू पे अटेंशन ऑन द टू थिंग्स. कीप इट शॉर्ट and simple. That's very important. Keep it short and simple, and be considerate with your audience. Like they have been there with you throughout, they have been listening to you throughout, so make sure that they enjoy what you're doing. So these are the 7 C's of communication, which are very, very important, especially when you're standing in front of the audience. But having said this, it's very important for everyone to understand and pay attention on something, which is the posture. And as I said, it's 55%. Again, I'm repeating certain things which I repeat, certain things which I'm emphasizing a lot. Remember, it's gonna be in the Kahoot quiz. So when I'm asking you, or when I'm telling you this is important, keep your eyes and ears open. अपने कानों को बड़ा बड़ा करके सुनो, बिकॉज वो क्विज में आएगा, और जब क्विज में आएगा तो आपको आंसर करने में बहुत मजा आएगा. So now the postures that you should definitely pay attention is how you are making the audience feel. Like right now I'm in front of you like this, right? So if I'm talking to you, I'm having a small smile, that means I'm cool, I'm happy. But if I was like, constantly pressing my hands, or constantly doing this with my hair, or making a specific gesture, आपको तुरंत लगता something is not okay. So to make yourself comfortable, it is very important what gestures you are using, how you are standing in front of the audience. जब आप stage पे खड़े होते हो, make sure that you have a slight smile on your face. Your arms are having like an open display, like it's not. बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब आप hands बंद करके खड़े होते हो. Pictures के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, like for business magazines it looks great. But in communication, there should not be any X on your body. Now, no folded hands, no folded legs. Everything has to be displaying that you are open and free to have any kind of interaction between you and the audience. All right. I hope I'm making myself clear. And as I said, please, it's not just me talking. If you want, please use the chat window to write. If you have questions in the middle, I'll be very, very happy to answer that as well. And if there is something that we can do later on, that's also definitely okay with me. So make sure once you are talking, once you are listening to the conversation of the people, you should pay attention on how the work should be going on. And of course, any posture which is not comfortable, that will show up. Especially when you are up on the stage, it will show up. So make sure that the body language is open and it makes you feel and appear as a confident person. That's very, very important. And of course, when we talk about the 7 C's of communication, this is something that has been prepared by me. Being an emotional intelligence trainer, I love getting E. I love getting empathy wherever and whichever place I can. So this is the 6 P's of public speaking. And of course, it has been incorporated by me. It's not there in any book. You'll not find it any book. So make sure, again, keep in your mind where and how you can use them. So the 6 P's of public speaking are like clouds in the air. Aap chaho, with the open eyes, you can see them. If you want to keep your eyes closed, I don't see anything, sab kuch normal hai, wo bhi possible hai. It's how you see, how you approach the things, आपको वैसा ही दिखेगा. If you're scared, you'll be scared of everything. If you're smiley, if you're happy about it, everything will be cool. Okay? So it's all in the mind. Mind plays a game when you're standing up in front of the audience. इट्स नॉर्मल. कुछ लोग बहुत कूल होते हैं, बट कुछ लोग कूल होना चाहते हैं बट हो नहीं पाते हैं बिकॉज उनका टेम्परमेंट, उनकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज, उनके इमोशंस उनको थोड़ा सा अनकूल कर देते हैं, right? So in here, these are the 6 P's which I say are like 6 clouds. The first P is the person that is you. It's very important for you to understand that once you are speaking up there, you have to have complete control of you as a person, which I said right in the beginning when I said when you're speaking, you have to have complete control physically and mentally, right? So it's very important that when you are speaking up there, you have complete control, and at the same time, people, that is, you have control over the audience as well. The moment you see the audience is kind of not comfortable, or the moment you see the audience is kind of getting bored, or they're not reacting the way you want them to react, change. It's a time to act and do something different. And that's why it is very important to keep on changing and bringing about a change in how you interact and what you do. All right. So make sure when you are talking, keep it very, very simple and keep paying attention on the clouds that are there. Because the more attention you pay on the clouds, the more attention you will be getting easily at all points of time. And of course, when you are up there, don't forget to have a power punch. And when I say power punch, it means when you're up there, as I said, life is like a stage. So when you are up on a stage, actually make sure that you are moving a little bit. Because if you're standing right in the center, right in the middle, that is the most powerful pose. That is the power pose because you are center stage. अगर आप कभी कभी चाहते हो कि थोड़ा सा आपके ऊपर से फोकस या आपके ऊपर से स्पॉटलाइट हट जाए, मूव अ लिटिल बिट टू द लेफ्ट और मूव अ लिटिल बिट टू द राइट. Do not be in the center position all the time, right? And as I said, because when you want to give your power punch, बीच में आ जाओ और जोर से बोलो, या बीच में आ जाओ if it is something not so exciting, or if it is something which needs attention. Let's say you're talking about sustainability, let's say you're talking about something serious, so voice को थोड़ा नीचे कर दो, lower your voice. It's like shh, that kind of a thing, so that people pay attention, they lean forward to listen to you. And that's very important on the basis of where you are positioning yourself on the stage. If you're on the stage, public speaking could also be like, it could be like when you're presenting in your classrooms. So जब आप लोग group presentations करते हो, everyone is standing in a group. Let's say there are 4 of you in the group, but जिसको उस वक्त बोलना है वो बीच में रहता है, right? If there are 4 of you, the one who's speaking, he or she is in the middle. So it's very important जो बीच में है उसके ऊपर फोकस है, बाकी लोग उस वाले पोर्शन से हट जाओ. Don't be in that spotlight. Let the person who's speaking at that point of time be in the spotlight, even though there are no lights. But what I mean by spotlight is that he or she is up there and he or she should get complete attention at that point of time, right? Once you have done all these things, make sure that you prepare your audience accordingly. You prepare your people who are there with you in the same time. So it's very important when you are talking, you have to make sure that it's going with the flow. Whatever you are saying, it's not something that is coming up randomly, it's not something that is up there but people are not understanding it. So then the last one is like show time. Now आपने सब कुछ अपने मन में प्रिपेयर कर लिया, कहाँ रहना चाहिए, कहाँ वॉइस रेज करना चाहिए, कहाँ वॉइस कम करना चाहिए. Now it's performance. So when you are there, go with the flow in such a manner that people remember how he or she is talking, how he or she is telling those concepts gradually, right? So it's very important that you pay attention on the small parameters and at the same time pay attention on the small things here and there which make it fun and interesting. All right. So before we go on, I just wanted to ask the organizers in terms of the timing, how much time are we in? Because I wanted to have an activity now.
So who's the MC here who started with this workshop? Ayushi? I think you can start with the activity, but we will be requested to wind up from here. Dr. Rupi, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, you're audible. I can hear
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
So you can start the activity, but you have to wind up here because the panel discussion has already started. We are delayed here in this session.
Okay. So what I would suggest is like because it's a live show and there are other people also joining in. So I just thought, if how about a Zoom? How about a Kahoot activity? I don't know, Dr. Alpna. Do you think we
You
should
can
have a
run.
Kahoot?
You can run Kahoot activity. I think you can just log into from your side to your Kahoot page and
Yeah. Yeah,
then you
all
can.
that is ready. All that is ready. I just wanted to make sure that there are people that can join in. So that
So
way it's not.
you start that activity and let's see how many of them take interest to answer
Okay,
to the
okay.
questions.
Okay. Because I just wanted to have the heads up on that. Thereafter, we can go ahead. All right. So I would highly request all the people who are here on any social media, that you can join the Kahoot quiz. Okay, I'll be sharing the screen soon. And on once the time the what do you call once the key comes, you can just take it from there and join. So I request everyone to go on kahoot.it, www.kahoot.it. Okay, so those of you who have played the quiz before, I'm sure you understand how you can go in there. And thereafter, I'll be sharing the pin on the screen and you can log in. So please requesting everyone to go on kahoot.it, and once you are there, you will see the game pin, which is going to appear soon, and you can join in. Okay. It's interesting when we do Kahoot like this, on a live media. That's also sometimes fun and interesting. Please join in, whoever is there. It will be really, really nice to have this kind of an activity, especially when you are live. So, all the participants who are here, I think that would be nice. You can already join in and have some fun. We have very few questions, but just to make it more fun and interesting, it's always nice. Thank you, Aman, for joining in. I request others to join quickly since we are running short of time. We'll just wait for one more minute, and if there's nobody joining, we can go ahead. At least one person can play, so it's more fun. All the people who are here, they can also join in. Come on, make it more fun and interesting, especially when you're live. It's always good that more people are there. Come on, Aman, request your other friends to join with you. It will be nice. Okay, I think others, whoever is there, please make it a point that you join in. All the people who are here in Zoom room also. It will be really nice to play along. They are very, very fun and simple questions. Okay, so as you see, you can join in the middle. Let's play it for Aman, at least few questions because he was there. It's always nice. Okay. 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 Great. Thank you, Ayushi, for joining. Okay. Great. Okay, perfect. Ayushi is on fire. Oh my God. Okay, someone is asking the game code. Do this one and then we can share. Okay, I'll just write the game code like this. Others can also join in. 9505147. Okay, that's the game code. All right, we go further. Others can join in. The moment you see the game code, you can join in. It's absolutely all right. Okay. Very good, very good. That's very well answered. There is always some stage fright, but you need to conquer that stage fright. Excellent. Thank you, Yatarth, for joining. Thank you, Aman and Ayushi, for being sport. Good job. Wow, Ayushi has 5 streak of correct answers. Good job. You're almost going to end soon. The more you communicate, the better at it you will be. Very good. That is but natural. The more we talk, the more we are able to overcome the fear of public speaking. Excellent. Now this is multi-select. You have more than one correct answer. More than one correct answer. This is practicing cultural diversity. When dealing with other people, what you need to do so that they feel welcome. Very good, very good. That's very nice, very well answered. You should be mindful of cultural differences and at the same time you should involve them. Like as I said, I was started speaking to you in Hindi because I know आप लोग सब हिंदी समझते हो, but there are people who don't understand, so that's why we are speaking in English. All right, good job. True and false? Communication should be open, empathetic and supportive. Good communication should be open, empathetic and supportive. Very good, very well answered. We have to be empathetic. I know we are running short of time, but still I wanted to have this quiz because I know everyone likes to play. Doesn't matter आप कौन सी age के हो, सबको मजा आता है खेलने में. So that's why. All right, moving on. Great. Again, this is multi-select. So you have more than one correct answer. So your supervisor, you can say your teacher, your professor, your friend has posted something not correct or something objectionable on Facebook. What would you do? Supervisor, आप कुछ भी समझ सकते हो. It could be your friend, it could be your teacher, it could be anybody who means something to you. What would you do? Very good, very, very well said. You should the first one, the red one, which shows is the most correct one. You should definitely tell your honest opinion because not many people do that. Very well said, very well said. Thank you, Umang, for joining in. Thank you so much. Last question. Again, this multi-select. So you will have more than one answer. Very well done, very well done. Of course, communication these days, the most vulnerable, or I would say the most affected platform is social media. So good job, guys. Now let's see who walks up the podium. This is interesting. So for all of you who joined in, it's great to see who's going to walk up the podium. Yatarth, Aman, and the first position goes to Ayushi. Whoa, very nice. Excellent, excellent. So well, today we had a great score over here. which was wonderful. Like, even though we are on a social media, even though it's live, but you all made it by joining in over here. So that's absolutely amazing. And even though we were running out of time, Ayushi, you made it. We made it. And I believe, whichever platform we use, we have to have that, like something that makes it fun and interesting. It's always nice. Whatever age we are in, whatever place we are in, we all like to play games at all point of time, so it's interesting, it's memorable, and I'm sure today you are going to definitely remember that we played these games. It was fun, we had a good time, and everyone connected. So on that note, I would like to conclude by saying, whichever platform we use, whichever area of expertise we are in, it is very important for everyone to connect with using a specific gesture. Okay, it's normal. Sometimes you might be scared, sometimes you might be happy. By the end of the day, you have to remember that communication is all about how you talk and what you do. Because the more comfortable you are, the more it is going to show when you are making an impact with the organization or with any place, any culture that is of importance to you. So to conclude, I just want to share and quickly talk about one last thing which doesn't go.
We are running.
Yeah. I know. But what I meant was, I want to thank especially Amity University and Dr. Alpana for giving me this opportunity, this beautiful opportunity to connect with all of you. Because as I said, even if we run short of time, one always has to remember to be courteous and thank for whatever has been happening or is gonna happen in the future. So I wish you all a very best of luck, and feel free to connect. Social media Zindabad. You can connect with me if you want to have any tips when you are having class presentations at your school, at your university. So do not hesitate. All the best and keep in touch.
Thank you, Doctor. And I think my just.
Yes, Dr. Alpna, we can hear you. I think Dr. Alpna left, or she logged out or something.
I guess there's some issue.
Yeah. So as I said, you feel anyone in the audience, feel free to connect with me on any social media platform, because if you want to know more tips, because I do give a lot of trainings on public speaking, how to communicate and what you should do and what you should not do. So don't hesitate. I'm just a click away on any platform. And you can follow my YouTube channel as well, where I share a lot of tips on what you should talk and how you should talk. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best and keep thriving.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. My voice is echoing.
Yes. There's a bit of echo. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.